of 2 weeks. I was also missing actually. And if you remember, we are in the chapter 12, and this is called as Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is how to um, show our reverence or devotion to the higher consciousness. Here we are representing, it is represented by Sri Krishna, but otherwise it is higher consciousness, any form. Consider that there is one Parabrahman who is the original creator, and all the gods and goddesses which we are worshipping is representative of that. We can consider him as Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Mahashiva, any form, but consider him as the person because they are interchangeable, says Krishna himself in Bhagavad Puran. They're all, they represent each other, all the forms. Particularly, Vishnu and Shiva are inseparable, right? And also Shakti, who is part of these Parabrahman, who is the main consciousness, the highest energy in this entire cosmos. So, how to surrender? The spiritual science is having some, conditions. Just like we have experiments in other, we have some conditions in other scientific experiments. This spirituality is also a science, fully evolved, and it is a supreme science actually. For those who dive deep into the understanding of human life, they can appreciate. Others may not have belief, and we should not try to tell them also. This is for people who actually believe that there is something beyond the ordinary human nature, which is controlling and which is maintaining, which is helping us also. So, for that, how do we acquire that energy? Through bhakti, through devotion. This is the condition for this experiment, for this exploration. I wouldn't call it as an experiment because there is no need to validate this. It's already proven. We need to validate it for ourselves. We need to experience for ourselves. That is the experiment. Try doing that more and more. You will start observing the changes within you, and that will stimulate you to go further, more deeper. So that is how the journey of spirituality continues. So as a part of that, today in this session, I mean, we have come to Bhakti or chapter 12. So far we have discussed what Sri Krishna has told Arjuna to lead a meaningful life, and what is the purpose of life, and what are the various ways depending on your evolution, your understanding, your liking also, your tendencies, your aptitude, which path you can follow. So he has given a lot of freedom. You can follow any path. But one thing is, we must understand, in every chapter he says, we must accept that there is one Parabrahman. The supreme is that. And the goal of human life is towards that, because that is the real perfection and a place which gives us permanent happiness. It is not even happiness, it's actually called as bliss. It is called bliss. Reaching that state of mind, that state, it is not even mind. That state is going beyond the mental state. So anyway, we will not get into that. We are all ordinary human beings, and we are all composed as his creation of so many gunas. Gunas means they are all properties. They are all properties. Physical and mental properties. Physical properties, mental properties. Physical attributes are my height, my face, my skin, my hair, my length of my arms. These are all physical attributes. Apart from that, what is more important or equally important is our mental personality, our behavior, our thought process. All this, they are all dependent on several things. At this state, when we are all in this time, we have been there before, we will be there in future also. That is as per the law of karma and all. As of now, we are all living. Each one of us varied depending on so many things. If you look at the current situation, our behavior, our personality, our expression depends on our genes from parents, our environment in which we are brought up, and our ability to imbibe the things from the environment, how we have learned, And much more important is what we have accumulated from, as per Bhagavad Gita, from our previous birth. Those are called as samskars. Samskars. Those are also heritable, which is not proven by any scientific tools as of now. But you can observe and infer. You can observe around you and infer. No, no two individuals are identical amongst the ocean of millions of human beings. You can find each human being is different, each human being. That is the beauty of this creation. So but every human being is running towards that happiness, and everyone feels that getting these worldly pleasures or growing in our career, promotions, qualifications, getting wealth, all these are adding to our happiness, but that is not a fact. True happiness is beyond that. And what is a true happiness? We still don't know. That is what I'm saying, bliss. They say it is, if you think that if you become the prime minister of, if you rule this entire India or the world, whatever happiness you get as owner of this entire earth, that bliss is multiple times of that happiness. That means this happiness is nothing compared to that bliss. So that is where we intend to go. Therefore, even if you become the king of this earth, no, you will not be happy, because they are all the property of that happiness itself is not satisfying. It is short lived. You will feel happy for a moment. Then again, you will start feeling that this is not what I wanted for. I wanted something beyond. So, therefore, we are all going towards that. So, therefore, this is the ignorance we have. We believe that whatever is around us is fulfilling our desires, quenching our thirst to become happy. But unfortunately, over a period of time, we understand that nothing is making me happy. What next? Then we start exploring. There must be something deeper, because what gives us happiness is actually true, eternal, permanent happiness. And much more above these possessions is the connectivity with that consciousness, which we all forget in our day to day activities. We are all living in the plane of this body and the mind. We are either working or thinking something which is related to our day to day. We do not go beyond that. Going beyond that means what? Sometimes we go, but not always. Most of the times, this mind, the thought and the action and our words, all these are, they are working towards fulfilling our selfish desires. Always it is either me or my family, me, my family, my job, my career, my, everything is centered around that. Very rarely we go beyond me and mine. And that is what is Bhagavad Gita teaching us. The more we are thinking about this body, this mind, we are unhappy. Go little beyond that. There is one more within our body, and that is called as a soul, or Jivatma, or consciousness, or Krishna, or Vishnu. That is the one actually which is the reason for our life here. That is the energy, true energy. It is sustaining our lives, but we fail to realize because of our ignorance. So when we understand more, we try to dwell deep into that, and we understand that me, this Pratibha, is composed of this body and this mind, and there is a soul behind. And that soul is not expressing because I am mostly outside. I'm not going within, mostly throughout the day. But how to make, without compromising the same activity, how to dive deep, how to get connected with that consciousness is what Bhagavad Gita or any spiritual life is all about. So, with that, Krishna has brought him to that stage. All this is from Gita only, not my own. So, with that, he says, he talks about all these things, and then he has come to Bhakti Yoga, how to show real bhakti. We say, I cannot be a sannyasin, or I cannot think and sit and meditate that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the Parabrahman. That is a typical Advaitic meditation or contemplation, which many people may not be able to do. So, mostly people worship uh, God with the form, and they go from a dualistic. There is God, there is me. I look at him like Mirabai, Tukaram, and all that. And we say, I am worshipping God. I am going to temple. I meditate upon him and I visualize his form. So all these people will say, but what is the true bhakti? True bhakti, he has given the characteristics. So first 10 shlokas he has told about how we can do that. You must do regular practice. You must surrender all your activities to me. If you call me as if you consider yourself as my devotee, you must surrender to me, surrender all the actions, give your mind and buddhi to me. Mentally you surrender. That means you accept that I am the consciousness. When you surrender, I will manifest, I will express. Your words, your actions, everything will have a different standard, different quality, because I will start expressing. But for that, you should come to me. Your mind should come to me. Just mere doing worshipping, offering flowers or anything will not serve any purpose. You must mentally be with me, and that too, you should be always satatam, always nitya. You should be always with me, and you should do any work that you do. You should offer it to me. It is by me and it is for me. That attitude, all that he tells. The second part of it, he says that how you should behave with your people around. I am not happy if you just meditate for a few hours in the puja room or in your meditation place. Go to temple, visit a pilgrimage, all that. But when you come out, you are having problems with your people around and you differentiate yourselves from them. That is not acceptable to me. That is the last etu dharmyamritamidam. I mention this word. Yathoktam paryupasate. If you follow all this, that's the last verse of this chapter. Shraddhadhana mat parama bhaktaste ativa me priyaha. Who are all the devotees who are dear to me? That is the essence of this chapter. So after telling all these conditions, then he says, if you follow them constantly, consistently, throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year, throughout your life, then you are very, very dear to me. And when we become dear to him means that consciousness. You need not even keep the image of Krishna. Is that quantum energy. Then it will flow. That is the dynamics of this spiritual relationship. When we follow all this, then he will flow. So very beautiful. This chapter, these shlokas which we are going to discuss today, these are very dear to me because this was the first thing which we started teaching students in the year 1994. My another mentor I had, she said, let's start from 12th chapter, 13th shloka. I used to by heart, I used to read. But from that time, I started understanding, yes, this is required to build good interpersonal relationship, which is an integral part of a spiritual person. If you want to be called as a spiritual seeker or Bhagavad-Gita follower or Bhagavatam follower or any kind of, even if we are attending, we should try to bring those changes slowly, slowly. It's not going to be overnight, but these are the things which we need to bring. These are the changes which we need to bring within ourselves. No expectation from people outside. If I have to live happily with people, I have to explore and see what are my imperfections. So it is self improvement that we are working on. We will not talk about others. If I'm taking these sessions, with every session I'm improving, because when I have to tell you, I will go deep and I'll see where am I lacking. And if you observe, wherever I have conviction or wherever I have practiced, I will be more effective. That impact will be there. Otherwise, no, it won't be there. So I am also in the same path, just like you. So we are all here to learn, but we have to make sincere efforts to bring that into practice consistently, always remembering that, yes, here being aware of our imperfections. Then what happens is we start concentrating on ourselves rather than trying to change another person, which is the most common mistake we make. Most common mistake is that we think we are perfect, others have to change. That is a total mistake that we do, because we are also human beings. We also have so many things. Maybe few things here and there we are better, but that doesn't give us a certificate that we are so perfect. If we reach that ultimate perfection, that is a state of liberation. That's the highest state. We become Buddha. Then we are totally different persons. So let us concentrate on these beautiful shlokas in the entire Bhagavad Gita. For me, this has impressed a lot. So today I will take the first four shlokas only. That means 13, 14, 15, 16. अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैः मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः. So if you see from that 14th shloka, Yo Madbhaktaha Same Priyaha, 14th, and 15th also, Yaha Sachame Priyaha, 16th also, Yo Madbhaktaha Same Priyaha. So he's trying to say these are the people who are very close to me. Whenever he says, if we become close to him, then he will manifest. He means that energy. Let us consider him as consciousness only. That consciousness will start manifesting in us whenever we say that, whenever he says. That means if we follow these conditions. Now, what are those conditions? The first and foremost is adveshta. Dvesha means hatred. Adveshta means do not hate anybody. So Krishna is telling us, though he is abstract, he is not seen by ordinary eyes, and we have not grown up so much that we feel him here and there. We are believing his words. So, but he wants us to live in harmony with people around. Live in harmony. Otherwise, you will bring disgrace to me. That is what he says. You will bring disgrace to spirituality. You follow spirituality and you don't. So, if you want to be a good devotee, adveshta, do not hate anybody. And sarva bhutanam, do not hate anybody. So, no enmity to any beings. Adveshta sarva bhutanam means no hatred towards any person, whether you like, dislike, upper caste, lower caste, upper class, lower class, Indian, foreigner. No, you are not going to hate anybody. So you love anybody, in other words. And not only human, bhuta means living beings, animals and plants also. Means you have to be in balance with the ecosystem. Adveshta sarvabhuta. Nobody hates animals or plants generally. Humans only we hate each other, isn't it? Animals are not responding, so there's no question of hatred. We may dislike having pets, but we don't hate them. But it's with human beings. Maitraha, friendly, be friendly. Who hates he or she, who hates no creature and is friendly, and karuna, compassionate, and nirmamo nirahankaraha, who's free from the feelings of I am the doer, and egoistic. Nirmamo means I am the doer, mine. Ahankara is ego, developing, which is related. And sama dukkha sukha, who has an equanimity for happiness as well as sorrow. He treats both of them with an equanimity, right? And kshami, who forgives people. And santushtaha, who's contented, satisfied, cheerful, all the meanings you can take. Satatam yogi, always in a meditative mode. That means he is always in higher thinking. If not sitting and meditating, we're all working, no? So, what is meditation during work? We discussed that. Surrendering every action without the feeling of I, mine, I am the doer. No. If you follow that, then throughout you are in the state of meditation. Satatam yogi. Yat atma druda nishchayaha. One who is yatatma, who is self-controlled and has firm conviction. Druda nishchaya means firm conviction, firm resolution. Druda nishchaya means I'm going to follow this path. I'm going to do this. There's no wavering of the mind. This can also mean that whatever decision we take, right or wrong, we abide by that. There's no wavering. I will give lot of thought in taking a decision and acting. Once I decide, I will not think of the consequences, but I act. That is called Druda Nishchayaha. Mai Arpita Mano Buddhi. He who surrenders, Mai Arpita, who offers, who surrenders his mind and intellect to me, or whose mind and intellect is fixed on me. Mind is that wavering, adu madbeku, idu madbeku, I'm going there. This is a lower thinking. Buddhi is a higher, decisive ability of a person which guides the mind. So that also he is fixing it on me. Yo mad bhaktaha sa me priya. So many qualities he has given. No? Yo mad bhaktaha. Yo means he. Means such a devoted person, such a person, one who is thus devoted to me is dear to me. All the devoted person are not dear to me. These are the conditions apply. Today morning I get up, I get flowers, fruits, and agarbatti, conventional worship I do, or I meditate deeply. I meditate. I chant how many rounds of Maha Mantra, or I will chant my Guru Mantra, whatever I do. But when I come out and I am in the world, we are all householders. We work, professionals also. We work. As we work, if I don't follow this, then God is not dear to me. All those things are waste. He is giving so much importance. He says, you're okay, you're a devotee to some extent, but I will observe you. These are more important than those spiritual practices, or as important. I don't say they are not going to matter. They will, in fact, they will aid in this. But you must be aware that you should follow these commandments. What are those? Not hating, no hatred, no enmity. We should not. I wanted to, another 2 3 newcomers were saying who are not inducted into this. So then I would have told in a different way. But since we are all in this path already, so we are not supposed to hate anybody. We are not supposed to hate. Hatred is a total no, because hatred will breed so much of negativity that it will form a mantle. What is our purpose? We said we have to go beyond the body and the mind. Mind is full of, it's chaotic. It has got so many thoughts, likes and dislikes. I like this, I don't like this. Because of that, already when we meditate or when we do puja also, it obstructs our connectivity to God or the consciousness. Now, if we have this hatred with anybody, however bad you feel he has done, if we have and if we breed that, because it's not a thing that will go easily, then we are not, it's not going to damage that person, it's going to damage us. It will block all the positivity. Hatred is so powerful emotion that it will what I should say, it will occupy the entire thought process, everything. I mean, it becomes a major. If you consider them, it will be as bad as these asuras we say, no? Narakasura, Raktabijasura, Aurella Asuragalu, they are all those demons. Hatred is nothing but a big demon which can overpower your efforts towards reaching God, towards conscious, towards positivity. You want to do something good even in your profession, that hatred will pull you down. That is so much of energy, negativism, that it obstructs. See, if I read and if I remember, if I have to reproduce, now we are all doing post-graduation, or we are preparing for our classes, theory classes, or some speech or whatever. If you have this in mind, then it is not going to give it is going to obstruct that outflow. This you will have, you can experiment and see. Therefore, we must never hate anybody. And even if somebody hates you, Other way also, if you find why this person is hating me so much, he or she is always scolding me whenever they see me, the teacher or the your senior or your HOD or your principal, any or neighbor. So there may be persons in your life, the minute they see you, they start scolding or they show it on their face. Why is he expressing? So how to deal with that, and how we should not hate anybody, is something we should learn. Why people hate others? They say, psychologists say, that hatred is a negative feeling which has an underlying emotion. So this person who is hating others is insecure fellow, lady or man, person, insecure. They have some fear, some stress, some trauma, something is there underneath. So much of ideology, they have been conditioned with some perfections that when a person doesn't work according to his expectations, he starts hating him. That also could be the reason. So fear, stress, higher ideology, helplessness, jealousy, all these insecurities, no, they come out as hatred, anger, vengeance, and sometimes violence. So we should nip it at the bud. It should not, vengeance and violence need not be physical violence. It could be verbal violence. We have seen people verbally torturing others because they are insecure. So hatred comes. So we should not have those. We should go within, meditate, and understand. If you just observe your emotions, if you are having now, right now, we can do that exercise, or after this session, go back and write down, if you have hatred towards anybody, write down those two or three names, uh, with whom you are not comfortable, or we say we are not comfortable, but actually within we may be disliking. The disliking in higher proportion becomes a hatred. That's all it is. So if you hate them, whenever you, hatred means when you come, you just can't stand them. So list down. Even in the past, they might have, you may not be in talking terms, but in the mind, you will hate them. So you will write down and we'll understand, why do we hate them? Why do we hate them? What is that fear? What am I afraid of? Sometimes it is a competition. As I said, sometimes it's a jealousy. Sometimes you feel you're losing control on them. You want them to be listening to you, but they don't listen. So you start hating. That's our ego. So try to understand, what is that which is causing me to dislike or hate him. Both are not correct. Both are negative. Okay. You can be neutral to start with. Neutral to start with. So understand, what is that which is bringing out this hatred. So we need to work on that. Otherwise, it will have a big impact, because once we hate anybody, who either we or others, if they're hating, if that hatred is there, then it works like a poison. And most of the times they're in angry mode. And what word I wanted to use was, they become obsessed. That obsession will come. Then it makes, as I said, not only consciousness, they will not be able to enjoy the splendor and happiness which is actually happening around in their life. They would have had a good wife, good spouse, husband or wife, good children, good salary, everything is good. They are not happy because they're breeding that hatred. So that will overpower. So, and not only mentally, not only this, so socially he becomes isolated. He will isolate himself. A person who becomes obsessed with hatred, he becomes isolated, or he avoids at least those situations where he is expected to go, but I hate that person, so I'm not going there. He may lose out on several good opportunities of meeting good people, interaction, professional interaction. Even professionally, also, we see this kind of hatred. I have seen at least 4 or 5 people who are obsessed with hatred. Obsessed, you can see right on their face that bitterness, bitterness. So this should not happen. Apart from that, if it goes beyond one proportion, it can have a bearing on their physical health, rise in blood pressure, rise in blood sugar, and endocrine disturbances, diabetes, everything, acidity, gastritis for no reason, self-created because you hate. But how can you then? Such people also, I read some psychology about this because it's very important. And I'm going to go slow on these shlokas. So these people, if they're obsessed, that becomes their nature. with some they hate excessively, they hate the one particular person. They start finding fault with others. That becomes their nature, that becomes their DNA, and others also will start avoiding them. They also avoid people who contradict them. Hey, why are you complaining so much about this person? No, he's good. No, I observed him. Ah, ha, ha. You like that person? I am your friend. I am your wife. I am your daughter. I am your son. But still, you want to support that person. But you will feel that there's something wrong with this person who's hating. You will find out. But this person, an ex who is a hater, who will start avoiding you. He will make friends with people who will validate, who will say, correct, correct. They are also of that type. So they will start finding places, articles, they read books which will validate them. So they keep that gains a momentum. Adu asuri vritti, adu demoniac nature only. That hatred is a big demon it is. Very unfortunate are those people who breed this much of hatred. But there are people, and I have seen personalities, so I am able to tell. It is very, very difficult for them to get out of that. And then what happens is he is never happy, and this person can never be a contributor to himself, to his family, to the society, and to the country, because no productive activity will come out. Very little. Even if he is very intelligent, highly productive, highly talented, this nature of his pulls him down and he is not able to contribute, which is against Krishna's expectations. He says all the spirituality should be for the welfare of the community. He underlines very well. And Swami Vivekananda says spirituality, if it doesn't help your fellow men, then it is a big zero. What is the use if you sit in Himalayas or in one cave and meditate, and of no use to the society, he says. So therefore, such people are there in the society, they are intelligent, but the hatred will create a totally negative atmosphere. And so this way, hatred is extremely bad. In Mahabharata, no, and these people, they are so the words will be so powerful because there's a high energy, as we have seen, no, the fight between the good and the evil. Evil is very strong. The pull is very, very strong of the evil compared to the good. Good needs lot of energy. Good is good, but it is not so much of, it doesn't have so much of strength. So, Gandhari in Mahabharata, Krishna, when everything gets over, he goes to Gandhari, and Gandhari would have cursed him. You have been the cause for killing all my sons. You also will suffer in the end, and all your sons will kill each other and die miserably. This is my curse, she says, because you have been responsible for killing all my sons. So in the end, so exactly the same thing happens. And it is Krishna's decision only, of course. It comes out through her mouth. That was the way the Dwapara Yuga had to end. So when Krishna's last few years, no, his children, they disregard him, they disrespect him. They get into drinking, boozing, drugs, womanizing, everything. They start misusing each other's wives. So it will be totally opposite of what Krishna has taught in the Bhagavad Gita. But that was how it was destined. So at that time, he also feels bad because he is in the human form, after all, of course, with Yoga Maya. So he goes to Gandhari in the subtle bodies, they meet. And he says, why did you curse me? Why did you give me this curse? It comes in Bhagavad, 10th Skanda. So she says, what can I do? What I could have done? You understand my misery, Krishna. Now she's without body, she's in a subtle body. They go to that plane and he has conversation with her. So she says, I could not help. So much of pain was there in me. You, Pandavas survived. They had their children. What about us? Pandavas also lost all those 5. You know that Ashwatthama kills all the Upapandavas. Even Abhimanyu dies. Very few remain. So Krishna says, see, Subhadra also lost Abhimanyu. And Draupadi lost all her 5 children. She did not curse anybody. Why did you curse? So these people who breed that negative emotions, hatred, um, they can create, the impact of that, will just multiply. That negative energy is so huge that it will continue happening. Whereas mean, when they undergo miseries, they become very bitter and they vomit that poison, just like Gandhari did. Whereas Subhadra, Draupadi, they were all pious people. Though they suffered, they did not hate. In fact, Draupadi forgives Ashwathama, who has killed all her five children. Ashwathama kills all her five children. She still, when Arjuna comes and he says, "What shall I do with him?" says, "No, his mother would be suffering as much as I have suffered. I have suffered the loss of my children. Let her not suffer." And his father was a guru. Let him free. So this is how an evolved person, though he goes through so much of pain, he will still forgive. He will still show the positive qualities. But a hater and a person with negative qualities will do just like Gandhari. What Gandhari did? So hatred is it does not allow a person to evolve. Hatred does not allow a person to become good unless he works on that. Unless he works on that. So, if any of us are breeding that hatred, let us work on that. Let us meditate and understand. We are not bad people, but we maybe have breeding some kind of negative emotions with somebody. Let us sit, bring that person in our mind, forgive them, and get over our hatred because we need it, not they. We need it. We are focusing on our improvement. So we can go to therapist. You know, a person who's hating is actually an unhappy soul. So we cannot blame them also. We can be compassionate to them. Suggest therapy, and after therapy, Bhagavad Gita. First therapy, because therapy will allow them to open up what has caused them, what is a trauma. This can happen only if the person is willing to come out of his problem. Otherwise, nobody can do anything. But for us, as a spiritual seeker, let us go to therapist if we have any hidden trauma within us. Let us open out. Let us bring out all the negative emotions which we have about that person who has hurt us or who has been damaging us, who has been giving us trauma. Because it's very natural to dislike or hate a person who has hurt you. It's very natural. But we can control our hatred in this way. How we can control the hatred? We can think that that person is insecure and that's the reason he's hurting others. That shows he is not happy. That shows he has had a trauma. I have Bhagavad Gita for me. I can sustain that and give some time and not get affected. Be compassionate towards that person because he is ajnani, ignorant. That way we can deal with another person, but we should stop hating this attitude. If we understand, no, if we understand this behavior. And Krishna, as he says, there are three personalities: sattvic, that is goodness; rajasic, that is passion; tamasic, that is ignorance. So most of these people who hate us or anybody who are always into the ignorant anger or the rajasic to tamasic, our angel irtare ಅವರು. So what we have to do is we should give them time. And when we start improving and start showing magnanimous heart, ignoring that because our goal is different. If it is inevitable, it doesn't mean that we should accept injustice. No, we can express, we can respond, but not overreact to a person who hates us. We should not overreact, but we should respond. We should tell them, and we should not internalize. Let go and meditate. So these are the things which are related to Adveshta Sarva Bhutan. With animals also, we should be not hating those animals, um, what I should say, injuring them unnecessarily. Many times, commonly I'm saying, while taking rivers, we have seen animals being injured, the street dogs and all those. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೇರ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. Maitra, next Krishna says, not only that you should have no enmity, but you should become friendly with people. Can we become friends with such people who will breed enmity towards us? May not be possible. We can be neutral, and even in our thoughts, we should say, let God give them sadbuddhi. Let God give them bhakti. May God give them love. And the daily prayers, if we do, no, it will bring some amount of change. And we work on ourselves. We also become more and more magnanimous. If you want a person to bring one change, one aspect, we should work 10 times. Our behavior should be 10 times that. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says. You cannot say, I am like this, so you be like this. How much you are, I mean, what is the intensity of your positivity? It should be 10 times that you expect from another person. So to hard work ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು now. Then only it brings about a change. Because otherwise, when we stay with people, and it is inevitable, like parents or spouses or children, no, in-laws in some joint families, and you find these are different personalities. We cannot change our parents. We are born to them. They have done good job by giving us birth, but we are not able to put up with them due to difference of opinion, difference in personalities. So we should not. We should live in harmony with them by these practices. Become friendly with them. Maitraha, how to become friendly. Dale Carnegie has written a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Very interesting book which changed my perception in the year 1994. This one and one more, Shiv Khera's book, You Can Win. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. I worked on interpersonal relationships because of that. You can win. He says, first settle your personal relationships, then work on your career. Exactly, I followed that. And that is the reason I'm able to tell so many things because of my experiments with people. Maitraha, become friendly. What they like, what is their interest. Try to do that. Try to give gifts. Enadru ಮಾಡಿ. And of course, be genuinely friendly. Okay, genuinely, we should be friendly with people because becoming friend is very, very important for us also. Nowadays, because of technology, we are losing that friendliness. Previously, when we would travel in the train, what used to happen, one person used to talk to the other person. Majority used to be in the middle class, second class. We used to travel, and always, without, even if you don't know them, acha, where are you going, which place you're going, okay, I'm also, we know that the train goes to Belgaum or Hubli or Bangalore. We still ask, okay, are you going to Bangalore? And it's just to initiate a conversation. Today, that is totally missing because everybody is with their mobile. The first time I got disheartened was, I think, 2014 when I visited Singapore. I saw in the metro, everybody, that time mobile was not so common in India. Everybody is on the mobile with earphones, and there is absolutely no looking, no talking. It's a different generation. So we are missing that, friendliness, how to make new friends and how to maintain the friendship and how to tolerate friends. So these are all the things which we have to, I think, revive. So he says, especially if you apply this to person who hates you, try to make friendship with him or her and then see the change. I know it's very, very challenging because we are in this process, we are reflecting. So it's very difficult, but still you can try. How many of you have seen that movie, Munna Bhai MBBS? Have you seen that movie? Please come on video and say, have you seen Munna Bhai MBBS?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
in that, Sanjay Dutt, every day he sends that bouquet to that Vidya Balan, I think. Am I right? He makes friends with her. Vidya Balan, I think. She is a radio jockey. He makes friends with her, and then every day, she hates him. I hate you. I think that movie on. Every day in front of her house, there will be one bouquet. Andre, he wants, and he will change, and then finally he gets married to her. So that much of change. It may be in movie, but it is not false. It can happen. Even if I hate you, I will give you a rose. Either friendship, if we keep doing, definitely with lot of patience, you can change a person. Maitra. Then karuna. Karuna is compassion. So, because all this Krishna is telling, because if you keep your people in good relation, when you sit for meditation, it won't bother you. It will help you to reach him faster, and it will develop. The others also will develop a reverence for you, and they start believing, oh, she's doing some meditation. That is why her behavior has changed. Maybe and she's looking so peaceful. We also should start doing that. It will create a good vibe about the entire consciousness which he wants. So karuna is compassion. Compassion means, how can I help you? The compassion, karuna. Karuna is always like saying, I'm there with you. How can I help you? You can bank. How can I help Allah? I am with you. You can count on me. You can bank on me. how can I help you? Sympathy, like, that's little less, but how can I help also is good thing. I mean, you must have two things. One is you should have a good intention of helping, genuine intention. So not just by, words. And action also should be there. You should really go and help. I cannot just say, can I help you? I have seen one family. This is very relevant because it starts from the family only. With even if two are there, I have seen one family where the those days it was a joint family, and the daughter-in-law was a homemaker. She was working day and night. The mother-in-law, in Indian context, Peter, you have to understand this. This doesn't apply to Western. This one. So mother-in-law sits there and she says, "Oh, yo, I can't see you so working." Mother-in-law is a fit lady. "I can't see you working. How much you are working? So much of sweat on your face." It's very only words, no action. She sits there, not even offering her a glass of water. Today it is a reverse. Okay, you can say generations in some places. Reverse, whatever it is, whether senior generation, junior generation, or your spouse or your siblings, whatever, it is not in words. You must start practicing compassion in your own house. When you see somebody making a small face, what's wrong with you? Anything is wrong? Are you upset? Can I help you? How many of us have time and patience to ask? We are always busy in our own work, and whenever we have time, me time. How many children actually go and ask their parents, "Why are you upset today? Any problem?" You should keep your next level. Spouse, colleagues, you're sitting. How many of us will actually look up and see what is happening there? Can we do that? That itself is compassion. Yesterday, I mean, it can be very simple. It need not be, doing, admitting in the hospital and all. As doctors and parents and teachers, we must have this. I was coming from, I traveled by train to 3 places, and there are no whatever lifts there, or that, I had to actually literally climb down with a heavy suitcase, and there was no coolie also. So as I was coming down, I consider myself fit, but when it was such a big suitcase, I was struggling. Suddenly, I saw two young people, "Ma'am, can we help you? Can we help you?" It was so heart touching, It may be youngsters, Mallikarjun and all may feel, yeah, we also do that, but not everybody does that. Not everybody. So this is compassion. The minute that means it requires presence of mind and what is that called as you're being aware, conscious. You should be mindfulness. The right word is mindful. Be aware and see if it is needed. You have to do that. And this one is not good. That fellow did the service not for me. He did. I was happy. How much positivity I will give it to him, and he will build up his karma. So when we show compassion, it is doing good to us. Other person will be benefited, but it is doing so much good to us. A person who shows that compassion. So we need that, and listening to listening to their problems. That itself can be a good source of compassion. That way, always any kind of opportunity we get, we should not let go to show that compassion. So he says, no enmity, no hatred. Not only that, no hatred means neutral. Just go beyond that. Positivity is develop friendship with the person who hates you and others also. And without any differentiation, you should be friendly with each and every person. Sharda Mata used to show, wife of Sri Ramakrishna, she used to show the same affection to Swami Vivekananda and all the sadhus. And there was one, robber. His name was Ahmed. He used to come there. "Amma, is there any food?" So she will serve. Sri Ramakrishna himself used to ask, "Are you allowing this robber who is known to rob the things?" She says, for me, Narendra and Ahmed, I don't differentiate. I have the same love, maternal love. He is hungry, he has come. What happens to his robbery? It is the duty of the police to take care. But I am as a mother, I will show. So we should not differentiate. I'll be friendly with only these people. I'll not be friendly with them. No, we must. And compassion for students, for patients, for children comes when we go down to their level and understand what they are going through. Today, there is a lot of requirements. So we being spiritual seekers, we should develop more of that compassion. We should have a lot of patience, understand them, understand why they are doing like that, and be with them. So, our small compassion, act of compassion, may bring people out of great miseries. We never know. We never know. So, develop that compassion. Nirmamo nirahankaraha. I and mine. These are the two things which are again enemies in our evolution. Everything we do is I, nan marde, nan marde, nan. Because of me, this institution has grown. Because of me, my department has grown. Because of me, that patient not required. Who has given you life? First, God has given. Then your parents have given. Institution has given. Your teamwork members have helped. So we need not make any claims about anything. Also, Bhakti says we are instrument in the hands of God. Right? Even if you don't leave God, can you not acknowledge everybody's cooperation? Who has contributed? So all these qualities are interrelated. Okay. So, who has given birth, first of all? Who has given you this body? Leave God. God, afterwards, we will talk. Your parents, no? Your mother gave, she took, and she made you a good citizen. So, where is the question of I and mine? Because she gave. So, how to overcome this? Be grateful. Always become, otherwise, you will become very, very possessive and you will develop a lot of attachment to what? To me, mine, and everything that is related to me and mine. My daughter, my son, my husband, my mother, my father, my student, my institution. You'll become so much obsessed to be proud of you and your motherland or your mother. Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda says that's a must. You must be proud and you must have that, that much of possessiveness is required as a defense. If somebody comes and criticizes you, then you defend. But you cannot use it to control or to show off or to, what I should say, uh, throw air around. That is not done because you are not the doer, first of all. So that attachment will come. Then what happens is, if there is a failure, then you will go into deep misery. Or if somebody takes away any of your possessions, then you will become deeply depressed. One very small example, which you will find it very silly, but it's a fact. There is a family, mother, father, and the son, only three. And the mother was so much obsessed. My son, my son, my son, my son, my son. She did not let him do higher studies, which he wanted to do in the good universities in US. No, he worked here. But when the company sent him abroad to do higher studies, she became so depressed, very depressed. So depressed that her sugar started increasing, blood pressure started increasing because so much of possessiveness. After that, he got married to a girl from there means same this one, but whom they knew. But the minute he got married, she developed severe gastritis and dyspepsia, so many things, because she felt that she has lost control over her son by sending him abroad and getting him married. Obviously, it's his life. He has to live with his life. She became miserable, miserable, so much in misery, always weeping, always emotional. For what? For what reason? My son has gone there. My son is suffering there. My son, my. So these are all very common examples, but this can. So I, mine, and ego can lead to misery. So such type of people are not close to me. People should live their life for themselves and they should share. Dhritarashtra's opening statement of Bhagavad Gita says, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakaha pandavaschaiva kimakurvata Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra asks Sanjaya, Sanjaya, tell me, in this Kurukshetra, all these people who are interested to fight now, and I am sure they have assembled, and tell me what my Mamakaha, my people and Pandavas, what are they doing? So Dhritarashtra is uncle of Pandavas. In fact, he should have been very depressed, and for the fact that my own children are fighting among themselves. This should have been his cause of worry. On the contrary, the cause of his worry was whether my sons will win or will be defeated. That was the fear he was having in mind, because he differentiated his own children with Pandavas, though they belong to the same. And especially those days, it was so much of a joint family, which is supposed to be there in all the yugas. It need not be even today. That is called inclusivity. Everybody is ours. All are ours. We should include everybody as ours, even outsiders. That being the case, if we start differentiating our people, my brother's children, my sister's children, and protect them, create rift between them, that is what results if you are egoistic and claim I and mine. So Krishna believes in inclusivity. Nirmamo, nirahankaraha. Don't have this concept of nano, nanmaklu, my children, my this one. No. I have seen guides, postgraduate guides. My students, all are your students. The students in the department are allocated to different. This is my experience. It may not apply to any of you. Please don't take it. But I have seen in some institute, there are 4 guides. Each one has been given one student. You cannot protect the wrongdoings of the person because he is your student, and point out mistakes at the other because it is someone else's student. My student, your student. Either professionally also it happens, because in any profession, unless there is human evolution, however highly qualified they are, they will show a very uh, lower behavior, which is not correct. So that is exactly, do not do that. All are yours. In principle, you are a teacher, they are students. You are an uncle, they are your children. So that way, when we embrace everybody as our own, then we become nirmamo, nirahankaraha. Co-colleagues, fellow colleagues, they are also working with us. Do you have any problem? Shall I help you? That is how we have to come out of this mamakara, nirmamo, I and mine. We should come out of that. Ni is opposite. Nirmamo means mamo, opposite of mama. Mama is mine. Ahankara is nir-ahankar. Sama dukkha sukha kshami. I think we will be completing only this because everything is so important. Sama dukkha sukha. So a person who is in equanimity, whether he is in happiness or in sorrow, he is very dear to me, Krishna says. Bahal dukkha padbeda. Do not become very emotional. Do not be so excited in sukha. Do not be so depressed in dukkha. Then you will be bouncing like this. Then your mind will not be stable. You have to, your graph should be like this. Most of your pharmacologists, steady state concentration, we say, no? It should fluctuate around a mean. That's what we say. Exactly the same. Sukha banda ishte hogbeku. Graph should go just this much. Dukkha just little down. Again go up. It will fluctuate. It cannot be the same. Then we are not human beings. We are human beings who respond. This is reaction. This is response. So do not react. We met another person. He used his Agarwal, was my old director, and now he is in Vipassana Yoga. Excellent. Vipassana Yoga, it seems it's very good. I am also going there and participating, which will tell us, which will force us to practice that equanimity. So your emotions should not be extremes. It should be moderation. It should be middle. And that is what in 2nd chapter he says, Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna means balanced consciousness. Prajna, that means my mental state is in a balanced way. It doesn't get too much perturbed with dukkha, too much perturbed, excited with sukha. So because in that 2nd chapter also he says, no, matra sparshastu kaunteya, shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha, agama payino anidyaha, tam stitikshasva bharata. The meaning is, he has told there, this hot, just like heat and cold. How do you feel the heat? Let's say there is some, we have kept an tawa on the gas. We are making dosa or chapati. When you touch it, you feel hot, no? Why will we touch? We won't touch. But if you touch, you'll feel. Similarly, ice, there's something is very frozen. If you touch, it's so cold. But as it is, do you feel cold if you go near it? No. When you touch it, you feel cold. Similarly, the situations, no, particularly those which cause us misery. If you live in that, if you're attached to that, attached means touch. If you're attached, if you're living, if you're always thinking about that, if you're overpowered with that, then you will become sad. So Krishna says, do not do that. Let it be there in your mind. Do not allow it to you don't be obsessed with that. Just respond as an action. There is something to be done. Take an action, but let it go out of your mind. Do not be attached. Do not think again. ಯಾವಾಗೋ ಆಗಿದ್ದ ದುಃಖ, ಮುಂದೆ ಬರೋ ದುಃಖ. Don't. What has has happened, gone. Only if you dwell in that state, then you will become upset. Don't. Your past is gone. What is in your hand today, this moment, this day, this minute? Live in present. Jiddu Krishnamurti. Live in present to be happy. Just tell your mind, I'm very happy now. Nothing is bothering me. I'm so happy now. I am with the consciousness. Meditate. Or just say, even if you're not meditating on the consciousness, meditate on the fact that this moment I am very happy. I am very grateful. So that will erase that dukkha. Dukkha is nothing but the reaction to that situation, not the situation per se, right? Even if you have lost somebody, gone. If your mind sits in that person's thoughts, then it is dukkha. You let go. He has lived, he has gone, finished. Now, this day, I have so much to do. So, unless if we have this goal, then we can get over dukkha. Sukha also that much. Because sukha is also not permanent. Dukkha is also not permanent. Agama paino anitya, he says. They are not permanent. Agama paino anitya. Therefore, tam titikshasva. Titiksha is tolerance. So, just wait. Why we should have equanimity? Today I'm in dukkha or sorrow. It's not going to be there. This too shall pass. Nothing is permanent. Nothing was. If I see my life, so many things I have faced, but they were not permanent. They went. And that's how today I'm happy. And so many good things also came. So much of happiness came. Did it stay permanently? No, that also went. So let me be free from the thoughts of that happiness and sorrow. And kshami. Kshami is forgiveness. Forgiveness, first word and last word, they're interrelated. Adveshta kshami. Do not hate, but forgive them. Do not hate anybody. You will stop hating only when you forgive them. Forgiveness. Christ is the best example of forgiveness. See, when they crucified him also, he said, God, forgive them. They don't know what they are doing. Look at his compassion. Look at his forgiveness. Look at his maturity. Of course, he is an incarnation. In fact, I read he resembles Krishna. All Bhagavadgita Christ has shown, just like Sri Ramakrishna. Wonderful person. So that is the highest. So I'll end with one story which you would have heard already. One lady, a teacher, she has taught this forgiveness in this fashion. She tells the students to write down, to bring some potatoes in their bags. How many potatoes? How many people you hate? So many potatoes. Some people bring 2, some people bring 1, some bring 3, some bring 4, some bring 7, 8, like that, because they are hating so many people. And she says, for next 7 days, carry this bag of potatoes wherever you go. So the children is adolescent. They carry everywhere. So they find it heavy. After some time, it starts, it gets spoiled. And it starts smelling. And then they complain. They say, ma'am, it's smelling and it's heavy also. You're asking us to carry everywhere. It's bothering me. So when they bring back all those, she says, see how spoiled they are. And you are neither happy. They are so smelly. You are feeling so uncomfortable at home, in the school, everywhere. 24 hours they are with you. What should be your state? I really pity you. Yeah, ma'am, you gave us a very bad exercise. We just could not do. I don't think you did the right thing by giving us this exercise. This is what I wanted you to understand. When you hate people so much and you don't forgive them, what happens? You will carry with them and they will get rotten. They will get spoiled and they will affect you. You feel so much. When they throw, they feel so happy. So she says, don't breed that. Throw them by forgiving. Forgiveness is throwing all those bad trauma incidents in your life outside and becoming free. So there is no baggage. So the children didn't have the baggage, physical heaviness, mental heaviness, and discomfort. Everything is gone. So when you forgive people, your own baggage becomes less. So therefore, you must practice. When you forgive, you feel light. So it is going to benefit you. You will reflect more. As long as you hold them in your mind, it's not going to allow you to grow. So I think we have discussed one shloka today. It was important because these are all the requirements which Krishna has told you must implement, and they are very practical lessons for us so that we live peacefully within ourselves and with people around. So we have to live in harmony and adapt. Adaptation is a sign of intelligence. Intelligence is nothing but intelligent man is the one who adapts to his surroundings, says Swami Vivekananda and also William Osler, I think, because that requires spiritual intelligence. It's not an ordinary intelligence. You should find out ways and means to make others also comfortable, and you should also be comfortable. Exactly in next shloka he says that. Next to next, that is 15th shloka. So with that, I end here, and it's open for discussions. Any questions, anything? I hope it was relevant because we experience this in our day-to-day life, and we must have as good personal, interpersonal relationships as possible, which makes Gita implementable, and you will grow in spiritual this thing, evolution also. Okay, any queries? Peter, anything would you like to add?
Yes, ma'am.
Please.
I was really taken by this book because it struck me right away that it is all about equanimity. And
Yes.
I did a meditation retreat last month on the Brahmavihara,
Okay.
which is the Buddhist practice of
Yes.
meditating on friendliness, loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity. And
Yes.
the teacher, Gayatri Narayanan, she emphasized that of these, equanimity is the most important. Once you have equanimity, you can foster the other three.
Correct.
And that is what I'm hearing Krishna say here. The same. That's you can't even do bhakti without equanimity.
Yes.
Really. And then in Patanjali, in the Yoga Sutras, 133 has the same thing, and he says through equanimity, chitta prasadanam.
Chitta prasadam.
Yes. Lucidity or grace of mind.
Prasad, yes, correct. Plus grace, correct.
And so, yeah, it's a wonderful book.
Yes. Which one? What is the name of that book?
Oh, this is book 12. Book 12 I was referring to here in the Gita.
Okay. Yeah, equanimity. I also discussed with somebody recently about the Buddhist Vipassana yoga. They have these 4 important limbs, and one of them, major one, is equanimity. And also, whatever happens is not permanent. It's not going to stay. That's what they emphasize on. And did you experience that meditation which they do for 16 hours in a day? I heard Vipassana yoga. They have a course for 10 days. Whatever Gita is, they're all same. Like Sri Ramakrishna says, all paths are same, leading to the same goal actually. But I was very impressed when they have retreats where 10 days you are asked not to carry your mobile, no watch, no laptop, nothing. 16 hours you sit and meditate, and it's really going to change you a lot. That's what they say. I hope to do that very soon. Anyway, let me see that.
I'm still just in the first form.
But practicing equanimity is very good. And before I wind up, I should say, how do we do all this? We know that we have to practice. It only comes when we meditate. When we meditate every day, connect with the higher consciousness and reflect. And any spiritual practice is incomplete without we practice all this. And for that, we should do meditation. Otherwise, it's like dog's tail. We want to forgive people, but again, it comes. So when you meditate, the mind listens to you. You will learn how to control your mind because you are controlling at least for 10-15 minutes. So whenever you want, no, I have to forgive this person, mind will listen to you. Otherwise, mind will not listen. All right. Anything else? Mallikarjun, anything you want to say?
No, ma'am, nothing. It was a good session.
Okay, thank you. Kavita, anything would you like to add?
No, ma'am.
Experience
Actually,
or?
Yeah, when I went to this place in Katak, ma'am, nearby there is this place where Ashoka, the king Ashoka, he gives after the battle. It is called some
Yes.
Daboligar or something. Yeah, after the battle, he gives up. I mean, I think he feels for the people he has killed,
Yes.
and he gives
Yes.
up fighting and he joins Buddhism. But actually, he was a Buddhist. But
Buddhist. Yeah.
he was actually a Buddhist, but he picks up non-violence. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು
Yes.
ಒಂದು ಸ್ತೂಪ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು
Stupa.
vipassana, yeah, this vipassana yoga,
Yes.
and that
Yeah.
mantra is Renge what
Oh,
Nanyo.
there's.
Yes, ma'am.
I
So
heard that. Yeah.
I'm
Correct.
I'm seeing how what you said, ma'am, the universe will come together to enlighten you. So I'm feeling it again and again. So when I read
Yeah.
that, I know today you're discussing it.
Yes. Yes.
Same way,
And
what happened with
coincidentally,
Bhagavadgita. Yeah,
yeah, correct.
coincidence.
Coincident. No, 2 days back also I met somebody, my classmate. We had a get together. He also said, Pratibha, he's an anesthetist and gynecologist. But I'm practicing Vipassana yoga and equanimity. I said, Gita is about equanimity. Then he said, yeah, this Vipassana yoga also, Buddhist also teach about. So they're overlapping. Buddha is
Yes.
also an avatar, they say. No, Buddha is avatar among all the Vishnu avatars. Buddha avatar is considered to be one of them, whether they agree or not. So good. So equanimity we should. Padmini, anything would you like to say?
This practicing mindfulness, no, ma'am, that is also a similar concept. No?
Yes, 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 yes. Of course.
Mindfulness.
That we're living in present. Mindfulness is nothing but living in present. No, or anything more is there? Padmini, you can add on to that. I think Dadaji or some one cult is there. They are also very much into this mindfulness. Anything would you like to add on that mindfulness? Padmini?
No, ma'am, when you said equanimity, you know, how to practice it. Like I thought it is, and mindfulness is another concept which is similar to
No. Vacha.
calmness of the mind. Yeah.
Calmness of the mind. Yes. See, equanimity, mindfulness, as far as I understand, is becoming aware of every moment of the day or life, whatever, isn't it? So when you are in the present, where is the question of in the present, I'm here, I'm talking to you, where will the sukha or dukkha affect me? Nothing. I'm just with above them, or I'm equal. Nothing is happening to me now. No dukkha, no sukha, nothing. I'm just as it is. I'm very objective. So that will help. Mindfulness helps in maintaining equanimity. This is my statement. Maybe you can correct me if that is not the thing. This is what I have understood. Being mindful means being aware of what is happening around you, being aware of, being present, being conscious, not conscious, being conscious. And for that, living in consciousness is also important. So mindfulness is nothing but living in conscious or consciousness. That is what is my take on that. So that's what I felt. Chaitali, anything would you like to add? Suvarchala, Chaitali, Anita?
Ma'am, actually today I was impressed by one of your statement that we should make friendship with our enemies. I mean,
Yeah.
enemies means like hated people,
Hmm.
whom, if anybody are there. I
Yeah.
mean, usually we should avoid or you should become neutral. Like that only we used to listen. I mean, I used to listen, but you should make friendship means that is a really innovative idea. I thought.
Yeah, but yeah, it is a very risky one though. It's a
Hmm.
risky procedure, but yes, that's what I felt, that if you start showing love for hate,
I mean,
then they
one
are
or the
forced to
other
love.
day,
Yeah,
one or the other day, that person
they
also
will.
will
Yeah,
change,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah. Lot of patience it requires. Until then, if you can't do that, at least somebody told me, do not mentally you start loving them. You imagine them. Brahma, this lady who's she, Brahma Kumari, what's her name?
Shivani.
Shivani. Very nicely she tells. Imagine them and then tell them that let's be friends. So
Hmm.
that also matters. Rather than thinking about them, you did that to me, you did this to me. Instead of that, just say, let's be friends. Let's forget everything. that carries actually. To some extent, I practice this virtually. I have practiced and I have found it to be working. Yeah, it's good for both. They also don't want, they should not suffer. They are also not interested to suffer, but they don't know how to go about. That much is the ignorance. Yeah. So we can try to change them. At least we should not remember their what they have done to us, and forgive. Keep forgiving. Keep forgiving. God give them good buddhi, sadbuddhi, and give them bhakti, give them love, and give me the ability to forgive them. It works and it will work. There is absolutely no reason why it should not work if you have sincerely, if you have put an effort. You can let go.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Anita, yeah, Anita, tell
ma'am,
me.
how much in continuation with this only? Even if they continue to hate us, we should be loving towards them. We
Yes,
should
yes,
not harm them, and we
yeah,
should not try to have no hatred towards them. That's what
yes,
you meant,
yes,
ma'am.
correct, correct.
So we
And be
should,
compassionate, compassionate.
okay. If they come and ask for any help, we have to do the same way how we
Yeah,
do for any other person.
yes, 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 very correct. You should not remember what they have done, just help it out. But be
Okay.
careful. Be careful with some dangerous people. There you should not get into trouble also. You should
Ma'am.
use your vyavaharika buddhi. Means
Okay.
you should not be dumb also.
Hmm.
You should be intelligent enough to foresee. Sometimes you should be alert also, whether you will be trapped or you'll be fixed, you know. That also you should take care of yourself and do that job. That
Okay.
also is required.
So we
But
should help
otherwise,
to an extent where we are not put in a trouble.
yes, fix,
Okay.
yes, exactly. That discrimination you should have. God tells that you
Okay.
should not, be dumb-witted. Even Sadhguru uses that word. I always like, don't be dumb, he says. Be
Mhm.
intelligent. Use your average intelligence also, and
Hmm.
then act. Do not, because we have to protect ourselves. We should never do anything at our cost. Never, ever.
Okay.
Because we are very precious to ourselves. We are very
Hmm.
precious.
Hmm.
So these are certain things which I felt was very practical, and I took long time because they were very relevant, and they are as important as learning the higher things, because these are the very tools that connect us with others. So with that, I think we can wind up for the day. If there are no other, I have taken a lot of time. We wind up for today.